And welcome back inside Nobby's Ballpark as Case Western Reserve in Chicago set for the second of two games today. Second of two 7-inning games as the Spartans came away with a 2-1 win in the first, and we'll look to get going again here in Game 2. Without further ado, as the teams are on the field, let's go ahead and get you lineups for Game 2 between Chicago and Case Western Reserve. The Maroons now 1-10 on the year, and they'll have Jackson Slipak leading things off here in Game 2, the designated hitter, followed by the shortstop Brady Miller. Eric Rinder, the first baseman, hitting third, and then Jack Goldstein, the second baseman, in the cleanup spot. Richard Liu playing right field and batting fifth. Eddie McCarthy catching in Game 2 and batting sixth. Jonathan Zevi, the left fielder, hit seventh. Jack Sharp, the third baseman, hitting eighth. And Brandon Jurevich, the center fielder, bats ninth. John Butka on the mound for Chicago. We'll tell you more about him in the bottom of the inning when he gets on the mound. In the meantime, defensively for the Spartans, same lineup out there as Game 1. At first base, Dan Camphausen. Second baseman is Tyler Stilson. The third baseman is James Powers, and the shortstop is Nate Arterburn. In the outfield, left fielder is Franco Alonso, center fielder Logan Andraco, and the right fielder is Nick Harms. Doing the catching, Jack Anderson, and on the mound is Quinn Saunders, who is coming off a 14-strikeout start, a school record 14 strikeouts over 6 innings his last time out against Trinity, and will be looking to pick up right where he left off from there. Saunders on the year 1-0 with a 6.75 ERA through 3 appearances, including a pair of starts. He's allowed 8 runs in 10 2/3 innings, but just 7 hits in that stretch for a 175 opponent's batting average. He has struck out 22 and walked just 5. A promising freshman pitcher out of Palos Park, Illinois. Amos Alonzo Stagg High School, 6'3", 220-pound lefty, will get things going against what is, again, an all-righty lineup for Chicago, beginning with the designated hitter, Jackson Slipak, who starts off the game with a called strike, and the count goes to 0-1. So 4:24 the time of the first pitch, as that one just above the letters for a ball, and the count evens 1-1. Now the 1-1 from Saunders. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike, 1-2. Saunders really showing some promise early on in his career. He's faced some good teams as well between Trinity and Ithaca. His 2 starts. Is that one taken on the outside corner by Slipak for a called strike 3, and there's one gone. And you can tell just 2 starts into his career, and he already holds the school's single-game strikeout record. And the batter now coming to the plate will be Brady Miller, the shortstop. Miller came in as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning of the first game. Tried to lay down a bunt, but couldn't get it down, ended up striking out. Slider catches the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1 from Saunders. Fastball, inside corner, called strike, 0-2. So Saunders now 23 strikeouts through 11 innings pitched this season. Trying to add on to that here. Ahead in the count, 0-2. That ball grounded hard to third. Powers there. Throws to first. Right on target. 2 gone. So 2 retired, and the batter now at the plate is Eric Rindner. Rindner batting at .257 on the year. He's driven in a team-high 13 runs. Got the start behind the plate in Game 1. And is now at first base here for Game 2. First pitch on the way. Chopper down the first base side, screws foul, and that'll be an 0-1 count. Saunders looking for a quick first inning, ahead in the count, 0-1 with 2 away and the base is empty. Again, we're playing a 7-inning game here, so certainly stands for Saunders to eat up a bulk of those innings with another effective outing. He allowed 3 runs in that start against Trinity. Now ahead in the count, 0-2. Saunders in an interesting position because he has not allowed a lot of hits this inning or this year. Just 7 and 10 2/3. Opponents hitting 175 against him. He hasn't walked a lot of batters either, but he's allowed a significant number of runs as that misses down low. And so you got to imagine that ERA, which stands at 6.75 coming into the game. I mean, that's a little bit of a misleading statistic for Saunders that belies how well he's actually pitched. Just misses off the inside corner, brings the count even 2-2. Good pitch there for Saunders. Here's the 2-2. And a little low. 3-2, full count. This will be the 13th pitch of the first inning for Saunders. He rocks and delivers, and it's swung on and chopped foul. And we'll get another 3-2 coming to Ridner. Ridner 9 hits and 35 at-bats now, including 3 doubles this season. He awaits the 3-2 from Saunders, and he swings and misses, strike 3. So Saunders strikes out a pair in the first. He works a 1-2-3 frame and will move into the bottom half of the inning in a scoreless game. And the Spartans look to get the bats going a little bit quicker in this one than they did in the earlier game. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get you the Spartan starting lineup. Leading things off is the center fielder, Logan Andreyko. Jack Anderson batting second and playing catcher. James Powers, the third baseman, hits third. And then Nick Harms playing right field and batting cleanup. Dane Camphausen, the first baseman, bats fifth. Zach Carinci, the designated hitter, in the sixth spot. Franco Alonso, the left fielder, bats seventh. Tyler Stilson, the second baseman, eighth. And Nate Arterburn, the shortstop, will bat ninth. Defensively for Chicago, first baseman is Eric Rindner. The second baseman is Jack Goldstein. Shortstop is Brady Miller, and Jack Sharp will move from short to third for this game. In the outfield, left fielder is Jonathan Zevi, who we saw as a pinch runner in the earlier contest. The center fielder is Braden Jervik, and the right fielder is Richard Liu. Doing the catching is Eddie McCarthy in Game 2, and on the mound is John Butka, the righty. Butka 0-1 on the year with an ERA of 6. He is making his fourth appearance of the year, second start overall. Butka has thrown a total of 9 innings, giving up 9 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 6. Opponents are hitting .281 this year against Butka. Butka, who wears number 14, 6'4", 175 pounds, a sophomore out of St. Louis, Missouri, attended John Burroughs School. Chicago will have, if needed, a fully available bullpen today in this game after the Spartans, I should say after Chicago's starter in the first game, Hayden Leiterman, went the full 7 innings in the contest, or 6 innings, I guess, in a complete game loss. Butka did pick up a win last year against the Spartans, started and went 5 innings as a called strike to start things off against Andreyko. Gave up 1 run on 4 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 4 in a 6-1 Chicago win last season. Called strike brings the count to 0-2. To Andreyko, who's hitting at .364, had a double in the first game, fouls that one off and stays alive. The count remains 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Butka. And a little bit inside, 1-2. And Draco, Anderson, and Powers due up this inning for Case Western Reserve, trying to complete a sweep of a doubleheader. That ball hit softly towards short. Charging and throwing on the run. The throw is in the dirt, though, and safe at first with an infield single is Logan Andraco. So leadoff infield single for Andraco, who's on at first with Jack Anderson coming to the plate. Anderson hitting at .365 on the year. He had a double in the first game. Pardon me, a single in the first game. Went 1 for 3. First pitch down low, ball 1. Now the 1-0 on the way. And that's a called strike, 1-1. And that one misses a little in. So the count now 2-1 on Anderson. Leadoff man on for the Spartans in the bottom of the first. They'd certainly like to get some runs on the board here early. Snow almost is all gone from the field right now. As that one hit down towards third. Throw to second for 1, on to first. Nope, no relay throw there. As Andraco retired. Anderson reaching on the fielder's choice. And there's 1 gone in the inning for James Powers, who hit the ball well in the first game. Powers 1 for 3 in the game, but hit the ball hard a few times. Did have a key RBI single. What proved to be the game-winning single. Drove in the go-ahead run for the Spartans in their 2-1 victory earlier. Takes the first pitch there, down low, ball 1. And that ball hit towards the hole and through for a base hit for Powers, who's been spraying the ball the other way all day. And Powers on with a single through the left side of the infield. And there are 2 on with 1 away now for Nick Harms. Well, Harms could get the Spartans started here with a big hit. He comes into the game hitting a .250. 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts in the early game. First pitch to Harms. And the breaking ball in the dirt gets away from the catcher, and everyone will move up 90 feet. So Anderson to third, Powers to second. 2 in scoring position now for Harms, who's second on the team with 3 home runs on the season. It's a 1-0 count. And a swing and a miss, 1-1. Now the 1-1 to Harms. Harms trying to get the Spartans on the board in the first. And he takes that one for a called strike, 1-2. Dean Camphausen waiting out on deck for Case Western Reserve. Harms trying to get the job done here with 1 out. The pitch down and away. They tried to get Harms to reach for 1. But Harms doesn't bite, and the count evens 2-2. So Butka now 15 pitches deep into the inning, has runners on at second and third and 1 away. Here's his 2-2. Pair of St. Louis products facing off against each other. Harms pops this one up, foul down the third base side and out of play. Harms, the junior, attended Parkway West High School in St. Louis. Butka, sophomore, attended the John Burroughs School. That ball sprayed foul. I I've got my St. Louis expert here. I don't know if those two schools are near each other or play each other at all, or yeah, they might have seen each other at some point during their high school careers. That ball chopped over to second base. Should get the run in. It's bobbled and no play. So it'll go as an RBI for Harms. He reaches on the error, though. No hit on the play. First error of the game for Chicago. Again, Harms gets his 20th RBI of the year on the play, and the Spartans jump out to a 1-0 lead. It'll be an earned run as well. And that will bring Dane Camphausen to the plate. TJ Shelton, the Case Western Reserve University athletics director in the press box here, and worked at Wash U in St. Louis, so he's well aware of the schools out there. As that ball hit deep towards right, traveling, still going, and it's off the base of the wall. Camphausen trots into second. Harms goes to third. Coming into scores Powers. Harms had a hold at second base on that, but it'll go as a double for Camphausen. Believe it or not, for Dane, his first double of the season, and that makes it a 2-0 Spartans lead. First pitch swinging, Camphausen going the other way with that. So it's now 2-0. Two in scoring position still for Zach Carinci, who swings at the first pitch, lines it into left center field, and that gets down for a base hit. Harms scores. Here comes Camphausen. The throw is cut off. No throw to the plate. And first pitch swinging, Zach Carinci, a 2 RBI single, and it's now 4-0 Case Western Reserve. So the Spartans striking early in this one. 4 runs on 4 hits in the first against Butka. And that one misses outside ball one. Franco Alonso at the plate had an RBI single in the first game. Head in the count here, 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. Still just 1 out in the inning. Runner on at first is Zach Carinci. Stolen 4 bases on 6 attempts this year, as that one misses down and out, 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way from Butka. And another one down and in, 3-1. Second of 2 games between the two teams today. Again, if you're just joining us, we got off to a bit of a late start today. The first game didn't start until 2:05, a 2-hour and 5-minute delay from the original time. As that one's fouled back, full count. We'll see if Carinci with 1 out is in motion at first. Again, no real bad weather today, but overnight the field took about 2 to 3 inches of snow. And the team spent a good portion of the morning, in fact, pretty much the entire morning, clearing the field. Infield and outfield were completely covered in snow. You can see the pictures. They're up on Twitter. But an incredible job done by the team, and you can imagine that the bats would be a little bit tired for the games today after being out there and shoveling for as much as they did. But field is ready. Team got a win in game 1. Now Carinci running, that ball in the air, deep center field. Carinci will stop halfway as the center fielder Jurevich lines it up, puts it away for the out, and there are 2 gone as Alonso retired on the fly out to center field. And now Tyler Stilson will come to the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first. Stilson hitting a 133 on the year, went 1 for 3 at the plate in game 1. He continues to swing the bat well. First pitch, runner goes. Now Carinci stops, snap throw down to first. But nothing going on there. It's a 1-0 count at the plate. Again, an interesting test here for Chicago. Certainly a bit of a down year for them. So that one misses down and away, 2-0. But the Maroons next year will be rejoining the UAA. They play in the UAA in every other sport, but will be back in for baseball and softball starting next year as that ball hits softly to short. Throw to second to get the out, and that'll end the inning. But the Spartans strike in the first as Case Western Reserve with 4 runs on 4 hits in the inning, and we'll move along into the second. 4-0 the lead for Saunders. It'll be Goldstein, Lou, and McCarthy, 4, 5, and 6 in the order when we come back. Four to nothing the score. Spartans leading. Top of the second coming up, and the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Chicago, Goldstein, Lou, and McCarthy. I neglected to also say thank you to the facilities staff here, which, you know, we got Katie and Casey sitting over my left shoulder yelling at me because I was telling what a good job the team did to clear the field. But they were out there as well, also clearing the field and have very sensitive feelings, so I want to make sure we take care of them over here to prevent me from getting yelled at any further. But no, in all seriousness, it's a great job by everyone here, and the facility staff always top-notch here. But again, if you had been on this field at 9 a.m. this morning and looked at it, you would have said, no way we're playing a baseball game today, and somehow we're finding a way to get 2 in today, which is incredible. So, with that being said, Quinn Saunders back on the hill, and misses low to Goldstein with his first pitch of the inning, 1-0 the count. It'll be Goldstein, Lou, and McCarthy this inning for Chicago. Spartans with 4 runs in the bottom of the first have taken control of this one early, and now Saunders just needs to protect the lead. Another called strike brings the count to 1-1. Again, Saunders struck out 14 in his previous outing. He's now struck out 24 batters in 11 2/3 innings this season. His 1-1 pitch to Goldstein, and he goes around. They say he held up on that one. I thought he went around on it. Either way, it's a 2-1 count. It's one of those where he may have held up with the bat, but his entire body kind of swung around to avoid that slider from Saunders. Saunders, working all the way from the third base side of the rubber, delivers another fastball knee-high, called strike, 2-2. Some good young pitching for this Case Western Reserve team between Saunders, who is getting the start here in this one. We'll likely see a couple other young pitchers in the game tomorrow as that one skied, shallow center, long run in for Andraco, but he gives way to Stilson, and it pops off of his glove. And that will allow the runner to reach on the error. That ball hung up there a long time. Stilson had to battle some wind and just couldn't quite figure that one out. No hit on that play. That's an error for the Spartans. So no hit there. And there's a runner on at first now with nobody out. Now the pitch down and in to Lou, and it's a 1-0 count. Lou batting at 174 on the year. 1 run batted in. Was 0 for 2 with a walk in the first game. And he holds. Brings the count to 2-0. 2-0 pitch on the way from Saunders. Breaking ball outside corner for a strike, 2-1. And another breaking ball catches the outside corner, 2-2. Saunders shakes up off a couple signs. 2-2 pitch upcoming. And the breaking ball there for a called strike 3. I'm not sure Saunders hit the spot he wanted to, but it's an effective pitch nonetheless. Anderson was set up all the way inside. I think Saunders was trying to hit that back foot again, but he hung it over a little bit over the middle of the plate, but Lou took all the way. And that'll be the third strikeout of the game for Saunders, and will bring Eddie McCarthy to the plate. McCarthy 1 for 2 on the season, making his first start of the year. First pitch. And that's on the inside corner, called strike, 0-1. McCarthy, the junior, out of Basking Ridge, New Jersey. Just above the letters, 1-1. So the strikeout watch begins again for Saunders, who's now up to 3 with 1 out here in the second. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. And outside again, 3-1. Saunders, delivery-wise, a little reminiscent of maybe a Madison Bumgardner, tall lefty, whippy arm movements. Kind of comes with that 3/4 delivery. Gets a lot of lateral motion on his pitches. Is the 3-1 on the way. Runner fakes the go, and the pitch is popped up, fouling out of play, and the count goes full 3-2. Goldstein, 1 stolen base on as many attempts this season. We saw him fake the go on the last pitch. I would imagine 3-2 and 1 out. There's a good chance he'll be running here. Again, as a team, Chicago entered the day with 7 stolen bases on 8 attempts, so limited steal attempts this year for Chicago, but they've been successful when they've tried. Saunders throws over to first just to keep the runner honest. Three-two on the way. Runner not going. The pitch is grounded foul. And we'll get another 3-2. Four to nothing. Spartans leading. Game 2 of 2 today. Game 2 of 4 in the series. Is that one? Just stayed a little up high for ball 4. And McCarthy draws the walk, and he's now on at first. Goldstein moves up to second with 1 out. And Jonathan Zevi will be the batter. Zevi 1 for 12 on the year, hitting at .083. Spartans shift into double play depth in the infield. Saunders turns around, looks at his infielders so he knows what positions they're in. Now from the stretch with 2 on and 1 away, the pitch. And misses inside, 1-0. And pitching coach Steve Grunberg heading out to the mound. I imagine Steve here, the message is going to be something along the lines of, hey, you know, just take a deep breath. We're up 4 runs. Big thing now is just to keep the ball in the strike zone. Give Saunders a little bit of a breather here. He's got 1 out, but 2 runners on. Again, a 4-run lead for the Spartans. Meeting on the mound now breaks up, and now we'll get going again here. Saunders looks down at Anderson. He'll get the signs. The Spartans use that pitch comm system, similar to what's used in the majors to call pitches. As the fastball down and in, 2-0. So the way it works in Division III, you can call those pitches from the dugout. So it's not the catcher Anderson calling the pitches. The pitches are being called from the dugout. And then Anderson, the catcher, the pitcher, in this case Saunders, and the shortstop Arterburn all have it in their hats, the little speaker. That one's fouled off. So it's a 2-1 count. Two-one pitch. And on the inside corner, 2-2. Saunders aggressively attacking the inner portion of the plate today. He's been effective against righties doing that. Here's the 2-2 from Saunders. Swung on, line drive, foul. Count stays at 2-2. Saunders has had to work this inning. He's now up to 36 pitches for the game. Worked a 1-2-3 first, but finding himself in a little bit of trouble here in the second. Here's the 2-2. And that ball lifted in the air, down the line, left field, but foul and again out of play. So Zevi really fighting off some pitches here as he continues to stay alive. Spartans went to Tyler Horvath in game one. He picked up the save. Other than that, should be everyone else in the bullpen should be available. 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss at the fastball on the outside corner for strike three. Fourth strikeout now for Saunders. And there are two gone. And the batter now will be Jack Sharp, the third baseman. Sharp hitting at .304 on the year. Was on base a couple times in the early game. Sharp going 1 for 2. Fouls off the first pitch there, and it's an 0-1 count. Chicago entering the game with a 1-10 overall record. It's been a struggle for the Maroons this year. This is a program that, for the most part, has been pretty successful. And again, I think when Chicago hits their conference, they're going to play a little bit better. But it's been a bit of a struggle for them in the early part of the season, to say the least. Fastball for a called strike, and it's 0-2. And now Saunders a strike away from leaving a pair stranded. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And it stays up high, 1-2. One-two from Saunders to Sharp, and that one fouled back. Count stays at 1-2. Again, it's a long day for the Spartans today. Supposed to be a 12 o'clock start, ended up starting at 2, but the team was here beginning at right about 9 o'clock. And again, they had to do some heavy lifting early on to get the field ready, so you can imagine a little bit tired out there right now as the 1-2 comes from Saunders. And a swing and a miss, strike three. And that will end the inning. So 3 more strikeouts in the inning for Saunders, who leaves 2 on. He's got 5 in the first 2 innings. We'll move along into the bottom of the second. The Spartans coming back up to bat will send the 9-1 and 2 hitters to the plate in the second inning. Arterburn and Draco and Anderson due up when we come back. Bottom of the second inning, 9-1 and 2 in the order for the Spartans. Nate Arterburn to lead things off, and that one a called strike, even though it bounced out of the catcher's glove. Count goes to 0-1. That's one of those pitches that if you're a catcher, if you hold on to it, it's a called strike for sure. It's right there, but sometimes it'll bounce out of the catcher's glove, and the umpire kind of see where it lands, but may not always call that a strike if it's not framed properly. Didn't affect the call there. As Butka in his second inning of work, a curveball grounded to short and thrown on to first to get Arterburn, and Nate retired for the first out of the inning. So 1 up, 1 down here in the second, and now back to the top of the order, and that'll bring Logan Andraco to the plate. Andraco reached on an infield hit in his first at bat. And the first pitch outside to Andraco is now hitting a .373 on the year to lead all Case Western Reserve hitters. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Four to nothing. Spartans are leading in this second game of the doubleheader. Again, we're playing a 7-inning game here. Tomorrow we'll go back to the 2 nines, barring any further snow. Not supposed to be any, but this is Cleveland. That misses up high, 3-1. We were supposed to get a little snow overnight, but I think the amount surprised everybody. As that misses outside, ball 4. And Andraco draws the walk. He's on base for the second time today, and Jack Anderson, who reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the first, will be the hitter. Anderson's average at .359 now. Was saying that, the snow, I think, surprised everyone. The weather report, at least when I went to bed last night, said a little bit of rain, some ice falling maybe. You'll see a little bit of slick streets as that one dropped into right field and a base hit for Anderson. And Draco is going to try for third, and he'll get there. Again, great base running by the Spartans, and that's been a hallmark of this team all season long, has been just aggressive base running, taking especially on balls hit into the outfield. And so runners on the corners now for James Powers. But, the funny thing is, and, I know not everyone there is completely familiar with northeastern Ohio geography, but where I live is out on the southeast side of town and typically right on the edge of the snow belt, and usually we'll get, when there is snow, I'm about 35-minute drive from campus. we tend to get it worse than most. And so I woke up this morning, I look out my window, there's a dusting of snow on the floor, nothing to think much about. And as I got closer and closer to campus, the snow got deeper and deeper on the streets. Called strike brings the count to 1-1 on Powers. And I was a little surprised when I pulled up this morning at about 9 a.m. to see that there was a healthy amount of snow on the field. There still is, if you look around, a couple of snow piles on the field here and there. But again, the team did a good job clearing most of that out as Powers takes the pitch for a called strike 2. Powers singled in his first at bat. He's been sitting the ball the opposite field a lot today and does so again here as it's ground to short. This one could be 2 to second for 1, on to first, not in time, and Powers beats it out. The run will come in to score on the fielder's choice by Powers. It's his team leading 22nd RBI of the year, and the Spartans now lead 5-0. So Logan Andraco scores. Powers now the runner over at first base. Again, Powers is a stolen base threat. He's stolen 5 this season. A delayed steal there. Throw goes down to second, and it is not in time to get the runner. Powers, who slides around it with his team leading 6th stolen base of the season. It's a ball at the plate as well, so now 1-0 on Harms with first base open. Harms reached on an error on a ground ball his first time up. Did get an RBI on the play, his 20th of the season, as that one rolls away on ball 2. 2-0 the count. So the Spartans leading 5-0 here. In the bottom of the second inning, trying to add on against Chicago. The 1-0 on the way. And that one through the line and into right field for a base hit. Powers rounds the corner at third. He'll come in to score. It's a 2-out RBI single for Nick Harms. And the Spartans lead up to 6-0. So now a 6-run lead for Case Western Reserve is Dane Camphausen, who doubled in his first at bat, will be the batter. Camphausen, an opposite field double, drove in a run in the first inning. His average up to 273 on the year, and swings and hits that one foul and out of play, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one lifted foul almost to the same spot as the count goes to 0-2. A little bit of a different trajectory, but got to the same spot. And so Camphausen now behind in the count, 0-2. Butka trying to get through the inning without any further damage. He's allowed 6 runs so far in the game. Here's his 0-2. And that one swung on, chopped up towards the middle, through for a base hit for Camphausen. Harms stops at second base, but a 2-out single for Camphausen. It's now first and second for Zach Carinci. Carinci, a 2 RBI single in his last at bat. His average all the way up to 286 now. He's got 8 RBIs on the season. A chance to drive in another one here. First pitch on the way to Carinci, and he swings and grounds that one to short. Backhanded, flipped to second in time to get the out. And the inning is over. But the Spartans add on 2 more. On 3 hits, no errors. They leave 2 men on the base pass, and we'll move into the third. 9-1-2 for Chicago. Jurevec, Slipak, and Miller due up when we return. It's 6-0 Spartans. Quinn Saunders back out for another inning of work. He struck out 5 through the first 2 and will face the 9-1 and 2 hitters with a 6-run lead to work with in his first pitch down low, ball 1. Again, if you're Saunders here, just fill that strike zone up now. Working with a 6-run lead early, it's a 7-run game. You could preserve some bullpen here. It's a Chicago team that began the day with a .215 batting average, so you want to challenge them at the plate in this situation. Especially facing the 9-hitter here in Jurevec. He now falls behind 2-0. Jurevec batting at 185. It's called strike, and the count goes to 2-1. Jurevec 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts in the first game. Getting his first at bat of game 2. Awaits a 2-1 from Saunders. And down and in, 3-1. Three-one from Saunders. And foul back, full count, 3-2. Saunders has a few things he can fine-tune out there, just like anyone does, but it's scary to think how good he can be if he's able to figure a few of those things out. And a swing and foul tips that one. And so Jurevec stays alive. But the way he strikes guys out, the amount of swings and misses he generates at pitches, I mean, he's going to be very, very good for this team. Swung on ground ball, hit towards second base. Stillson there, throw off his back foot in time to get Jurevec. And that will be the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. 3 straight sat down now by Saunders, and back to the top of the order. And the batter will be Jackson Slipak, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking in his first at bat. One of 5 strikeout victims through the first 2 1/3 innings for Saunders. And a swing and a miss at the first pitch, 0-1. Talking about the youth in the Spartans pitching staff and their starting rotation in particular, as Slipak fouls that one back 0-2. Again, today we're seeing, we saw the senior in Reese Marley who started the first game. It's the first-year Quinn Saunders here in game 2. And I think tomorrow we'll probably see another first-year pitcher in Tyler Stillson, as that's on the outside corner, called strike 3. And Slipak down looking for the second time today. Strikeout number 6 in the game for Saunders. And there's 2 outs and the base is empty here for Chicago in the third. And that will bring Brady Miller to the plate, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to third. I was saying, though, with Saunders, one of the interesting things, and with this rotation, we'll see Stillson tomorrow, and then we'll either see a junior likely in Kyle Geerding or another sophomore in Archer Stankowski. Either one a possibility. That one grounded out to short, should end the inning. Arterburns' throw to first is true. And a quick third for Saunders, who sits the side down in order. And we will move along into the fourth. The bottom of the third, I should say. The Spartans leading in this one by a score of 6-0. Bottom of the order, Alonzo, Stillson, and Arterburn due up when we come back. Welcome back once again, everybody. Case Western Reserve is 6-0 lead. 4 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second. Quinn Saunders on the mound has held Chicago hitless through the first 3. John Butka on the mound for the Maroons will begin his 3rd inning of work and will face the bottom part of the Spartans' order. Alonzo, Stilson, and Arterburn, the only 3 batters in the Spartans lineup who are yet to get a hit in the game today. The Spartans have 7 hits so far through the first 2 innings. This will be Franco Alonso to lead things off. Alonso 0 for 1, a fly out to center field in the first. He's hitting at .333 on the year. And actually a new pitcher on the mound. This is no longer Bucka. This is Sam Claynott. First pitch swung on and missed at 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Get you some information on the new pitcher in a second. As that misses a little outside, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off. Count stays at 1-2. And swing and a miss, strike 3. And Alonso down swinging. I'll bring Tyler Stilson to the plate. Pardon me, it's Sam Claynott, the first year out of Sarasota, Florida, the new pitcher, Riverview High School. 6'1", 180-pound righty. Claynott on the season, making his 3rd appearance out of the bullpen this year as he delivers a strike to Stilson, who's 0 for 1 in the game. 0-1. He's got an ERA of 9. He's allowed 2 runs on 3 hits in 2 innings. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. As that one popped up, right field. Coming over and making the catch is the right fielder for the 2nd out. And there are 2 gone. Richard Liu put that one away. And Nate Arterburn now will be the batter. With 2 away and the bases empty, Arterburn 0 for 1, a ground out to short in his first at bat. And that one fouled back 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Bottom of the 3rd, Spartans leading. And that one sent into center field, and over to make it is the center fielder Jurevich for the final out of the inning. So that'll end the 3rd. The Spartans leading 6-0. 4th inning coming up, and heart of the order for Chicago. Ridner, Goldstein, and Liu when we come back. Spartans leading 6-0 as we begin the fourth. Quinn Saunders has thrown 54 pitches. He's struck out 6 batters through the first 3 innings, and he's retired the last 5 he's faced. We'll go through the heart of the order here for Chicago. Ridner, Goldstein, and Liu due up. Ridner 0 for 1 in the game, one of the 5 strikeout victims today for Saunders. Pardon me, 6 strikeout victims in the game for Saunders. Begins the inning with those 54 pitches, 36 for strikes, and his first pitch here on the way. Swung on, grounded, fair ball down the third baseline. First hit of the game for Chicago comes off Ridner's bat. He'll head into second and pull up there with a double. And Chicago has the leadoff man on in the inning. And so runner in scoring position, nobody out now for Jack Goldstein, the second baseman. Goldstein reached on an error his first time up. And head coach Matt Englander coming out here. And something is up with Quinn Saunders, I believe, as the trainer, Spencer Furlick, heading out there as well. Let's see, is there action in the Spartans bullpen? We'll see if someone begins to throw. No, nothing going on there, so not sure what that was about. I believe that did not count as a mound visit. The umpires waved it off. Not sure what Matt Englander saw of a cause concern there. Is unable to hold up on the first pitch is Goldstein, 0-1. So an RBI shot here for Goldstein with a runner at second and nobody out here in the fourth. Again, a 7-inning ball game. The Spartans have led since the start. It's now 6-0. Off the outside corner, it's 1-1. Down and in, 2-1. And at the knees, 2-2. Foul back. For Ridner, that was his team-leading 4th double of the season. And that one chopped foul. Count stays at 2-2. Yeah, for Saunders, if he can find a way to operate in the strike zone just a little bit more, that will be the turning point for him when he goes from being a very good pitcher to being a dominating pitcher at this level. He's got the stuff, there's no question. And he's already very good. Swing and a miss to the slider there, and that is a perfect example of it. A really good pitch right off that outside corner. And he gets the swing and the miss for his 7th strikeout of the game, and that'll bring Richard Liu to the plate. Liu 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. Swing and a miss at the first pitch, 0-1. But Saunders does a great job, especially in his last two starts, keeping the ball down. Again, his stuff is just so good that as long as he's got good control, he's going to get a lot of outs. The 0-1. And he went around again, and it's 0-2. Lou in the second inning saw 5 pitches in the at-bat, took 2 balls and then 3 straight strikes. He's now behind in the count here, 0-2 after swinging at the first 2 pitches and make that 3 in a row. And that'll be strike 3. So Lou down swinging now. Back-to-back strikeouts for Saunders, and Eddie McCarthy, who drew a walk in his first at-bat, will be the new batter. McCarthy's still at .500 on the year with the walk in his first plate appearance. He's 1 for 2 on the year. His one hit was a double. He's also struck out once. Again, first start of the season for McCarthy. And he takes a called strike, 0-1. Popped up fouling out of play, 0-2. Sure, the Spartans hoping to get at least 6 out of Saunders today. And we'll see who they go to after that with a big lead. The options are pretty much endless for the team today with the exception of Tyler Horvath. And the breaking ball on the outside corner called strike 3. So after giving up a leadoff double, Saunders strikes out 3 straight to end the 4th. He's got 9 strikeouts in the game through those 4 innings, and we'll move along into the bottom of the 4th with the Spartans leading 6-0. Do have this inning for Case Western Reserve, top of the order, and Draco, Anderson, and Powers when we come back. Case Western Reserve looking for its 4th straight win, leading 6-0 here as we get set to begin the bottom of the 4th. Top of the order coming up, and Draco, Anderson, and Powers up to bat. And Draco's been on base twice, a single and a walk. He's scored a run as well. Batting at .373 on the season now. The Spartans' leadoff hitter awaits the first pitch from Claneau, who begins his second inning of work and takes a called strike, 0-1. So 2 innings of work for John Butka, the starter. He gives up 6 runs in those 2 innings. That one in the dirt, 1-1. Final line for Butka, 2 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned. He walked 1, no strikeouts. Claneau came in, pitched a perfect 3rd inning, and begins his 2nd inning of work. Nearly 1-1 on the way. And the breaking ball misses high and out. It's 2-1. for a ball called strike, 2-2. And a ground ball hit towards first, backhanded by the first baseman, and the flip is errant. And it goes over the head of the catcher. And that'll be an error that allows Andreyko to reach. Second error of the game for Chicago. And Andreyko on at first with nobody out for Jack Anderson. Anderson 1 for 2 in the game, reached on a fielder's choice in a single. Runner goes, the pitch hits Anderson, and so the throw down to second irrelevant as Anderson hit by the pitch, and it'll be first and second now with nobody out. And now James Powers coming to the plate. Powers has done a fantastic job taking what Chicago has given him all day. The Maroons have shifted him to pull the ball, and for the most part, we've seen Powers spray the ball through the exposed gap on the left side of the infield, and we'll see that again here, a little bit more expected in this situation with runner on at second. The shortstop will hold there, creating that gap, but you know, in situations like this, as the count goes to 1-0, a lot of the onus falls on the pitcher in this situation, knowing that there's that big hole and you have a hitter that has exposed that gap already to try to pitch him inside. That one hit up towards the middle. Second baseman can't glove it. He steps on the bag, and he makes the play in time to get the out. So a tricky play there by Goldstein, who almost commits the error, but it'll go as a fielder's choice. Anderson out on the play. And Draco moves over to third, and now it's runners on the corners with one away for Nick Harms, who's driven in a pair today and now has 21 runs batted in this year. Harms reached on an error in the first, and then an RBI single his last at bat. Runner goes, grounded over to second base, thrown to first in time to get the out, and Draco will score on the play. As Harms, with an RBI in his third straight at bat, his 22nd run batted in on the year, and it's now 7-0 Case Western Reserve leading. Powers moves up into scoring position on the play as well. An unearned run charged against Clino. And he'll now face Dan Camphausen, who has singled twice today and hits that one hard, but right at the second baseman. Throw to first is high, but landing back down on the bag is the first baseman Ridner, and that will end the inning. So the Spartans add on a run on no hits, an error, and a man left on base. We'll move along to the fifth. It's 7-0 Case Western Reserve with the lead. Fifth inning coming up here at Nobby's Ballpark, and it's the Spartans dominating in this one, 7-0 the score. Bottom of the order to face Quinn Saunders, who's allowed just one hit and has struck out 9, looking for his second straight double-digit strikeout game. We'll face the bottom of the order here in the fifth. ZV, Sharp, and Jurvik due up. ZV hitting at .077 on the year, struck out swinging in his first at-bat. And hits that softly towards third. Powers with the glove and throw in time to get the out, one gone. Good job by Powers to get the throw there on target and in time with the speedy runner in ZV at the plate. And there's one gone now for Jack Sharp, the third baseman. Sharp over one with a strikeout. Sharp now hitting at .292 on the year. First pitch to Sharp. Outside, ball one. Again, we're playing a 7-inning game here today. So if you're Saunders, you got 3 more innings to go, but certainly a chance at throwing a complete game here if you can conserve some pitches. Called strike, 1-1. Down and out, 2-1. Two-one pitch. Up high, 3-1. And inside, ball 4. And so Sharp draws the one-out walk. He's now on at first with one away. And the 9-hitter, Braden Jurvik, will be the batter. Jurvik hitting 179 on the year after a ground out to second base in his last at-bat. A few very light snowflakes have begun to fall here. Gently floating down from the sky currently. Nothing to worry about at the moment, at least. As that misses down low to Jurvik, 1-0. Runner at first and one away. And that one grounded through the hole, base hit. So Jurvik gets the single, second hit of the game for Chicago. Now put 2 on with 1 away. And back to the top of the order with Jackson Slipok, the batter, stepping to the plate. Slipok 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts looking in this one. He's now down to .326 for the year. Top of the order for Chicago, 2 on, 1 away, back-to-back runners reaching. And the breaking ball for a called strike. It looked like the slider that just caught that inside corner. Talked about it earlier, but Saunders aggressively attacking the Chicago hitters inside, especially early in counts today, and then has come outside to try to get them out. Strike them out, I should say. Swing and a miss at that pitch. And it's 0-2. Next pitch will be the 80th of the game for Saunders. Comes with 1 out here in the 5th. Here's the 0-2. And a timeout called. And they'll call a violation here. And so that will be ball 1 as they call a violation on Saunders. So 1-2 the count now. Here's the pitch. And on the outside corner, called strike 3. 10th strikeout of the game for Saunders, who has now had double-digit strikeout totals in each of his last 2 starts. He's up to 10 now in the game. And that will bring Brady Miller to the plate with 2 outs and 2 on. Miller 0 for 2, a pair of groundouts today, both to the left side of the infield. One to Powers at third base, and the other to Arterburn at short. He takes that one down low, and it's 1-0. Called strike. 1-1. Ground ball through for a base hit. Alonso gets it in center field, and it gets through him. Runners will try to move up, and they will. And that will bring across a run. An RBI single for Miller. It also goes an error against Alonso and left that allows the runners to move up a bag. So a single and an error there, and it's now 7-1. Sharp scores the first run of the game for Chicago. And now the 3-hitter, Ridner, will be the batter. Swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Ridner 1 for 2, a double and a strikeout swinging. It's a big situation for him here. He'll bat here with a chance to get his team back in this game. Base hit here would make it a 4-run game most likely, with Miller at second and Jurevich at third. On the outside corner, though, and now the count 0-2. There is action in the Spartan bullpen. And a swing and a miss of the pitch in the dirt, strike 3. Anderson has to complete the throw to first, and he can. And the runner will come in to score. And so the inning continues on the 11th strikeout of the game by Saunders. It's his second strikeout of the inning, but the inning will continue here. And now with Saunders up to 87 pitches, he may not get much longer than this next batter regardless of the outcome. A swing and a miss there by Goldstein. The cleanup hitter brings the count to 0-1. 1-1 the count. Outside corner, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Saunders strikes out 3 more in the inning. He's got 12 in the game through 5, and we're through 5 innings. The Spartans leading 7-2. Chicago gets on the board, takes advantage of 2 Spartan errors in the frame. But we'll move into the bottom of the 5th, and Case Western Reserve with a 5-run lead. Carinci, Alonso, and Stilson due up when we get back. Again, 7-2, the Spartans leading Chicago. New pitcher on the mound for Chicago will be the first-year righty out of Huntington Woods, Michigan, David Flanagan. Flanagan making his third appearance of the season. He's got an ERA of 10.80 through 5 innings, 8 hits allowed, 6 runs, all of them earned. He struck out 7 and walked a pair. Opponents hitting .381 against him this year. Final line on Sam Cano, 2 innings pitched. He allowed 1 unearned run, struck out 1, hit a batter as well, but did not issue a hit. So a pretty good outing and relief for Cano, but now it'll be up to Flanagan with the Spartans leading by 5 as we move into the bottom of the 5th of this 7-inning game. 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Currency, Alonso, and Stilson due up. Currency 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single and a fielder's choice. And fouls that pitch back, 0-1. Now the 0-1. Ground ball, third base side, but foul. Pulled just to the left of the third base bag. And so Currency behind in the count, 0-2. The senior out of Twinsburg, Ohio. Here's his 0-2. And pokes it foul, and the count stays at 0-2. And the breaking ball misses from Flanagan. 1-2 now the count. Action continuing in the Spartans bullpen between innings, so I have to imagine the day is done for Saunders. Is this one lifted down the line, and it's a fair ball? No, they'll say foul. Ooh, boy. I thought that landed in fair territory, but no argument from the Spartans, and so I'll chalk it up to my eyes lying to me. So just a long foul. That is Kyle Geerding warming up in the Spartans bullpen, and so I think it tells you 2 things. Number 1, again, Quinn Saunders' day likely done. He's up over 90 pitches now with a 5-run lead. The other thing it tells you is that Geerding probably not pitching tomorrow, as Currency fouls that one back to stay alive. Count stays at 1-2 on Zach, who's leading off the inning here. So I got to imagine we'll see Stilson and Stankowski in the 2 starts tomorrow. As that ball lifted in the air deep towards left center field. Center fielder is over, and Jurevec will put that away for the out. So Currency down on the fly ball to center, and now Franco Alonso will be the batter. Alonso 0 for 2 in the game, a fly out to center and a strikeout swinging in his 2 trips to the plate. Hitting at .326 on the year. And fouls back that pitch. It's 0-1. Flanagan in his first inning of work. As the sun peeks out from behind the clouds, he delivers a strike, 0-2. Good job by Flanagan here throwing strikes. He's delivered 9 pitches, 8 of them have been in the strike zone. Ground ball hit hard towards second. Glove cleanly there. Goldstein throws on to first in time to get the out, and there are 2 retired. So 2 gone now for Tyler Stilson, who's 0 for 2 in the game. He's reached on a fielder's choice and flown out to right in his 2 trips up. First pitch on the way to Stilson, and it's inside. Misses Stilson as the count goes to 1-0. And we're in the 5th inning of the second game of the day, the second 7-inning game of the day. Tomorrow the 2 teams set to play again. Anticipating 2 9-inning games tomorrow. Count evens 1-1 on Stilson. And he hits that in the air. Sky high fly ball to left. Charging in and making the catch in left field is ZV for the final out of the inning. And the Spartans go down in order in the 5th. We'll move along. Top of the 6th inning coming up. Chicago coming to bat when we return. The score 7-2. Case Western Reserve leading. Handful of changes for the Spartans here as we get set to begin the 6th inning. Day is done for Quinn Saunders. All he did today was strike out 12. Pretty impressive outing again for the first year, coming off a 14 strikeout appearance. He leaves the game after 91 pitches, allowed just 1 earned run, and gives way to Kyle Geerding. We'll tell you about Kyle here in a second as his first pitch misses down and out, 1-0. Matt Trout takes over in center field as well for the Spartans. He'll be hitting 7th in the lineup as Franco Alonso out of the game. And then Logan Andraco moves from center to left. Geerding gets a swing and a miss from Lou as the count goes to 1-2. And outside, 2-2. Well, Geerding trying to get his season on track after some struggles on the mound for him this year. Has looked a bit more promising as of late, but that ball sent in the air and into right field for a base hit for Lou. And so Lou on with a single. 4th hit of the game for Chicago, and that'll bring Eddie McCarthy to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout looking. Geerding 0-2 on the season through 4 appearances and 3 starts. This will be his 2nd appearance out of the bullpen this year. He's got a .969 ERA. In 13 innings, he's given up 20 hits. As that misses down and away, ball 1. 17 runs allowed by Geerding, just 14 of them earned. He's struck out 10, walked just 3, but opponents hitting .345 against him. And so Geerding trying to miss a few more bats here at the plate, as he's been hit hard this year. Swing and foul tipped back, 2-1. Geerding, someone who the Spartans were relying on to be a key starter for this team. And he got off to a good start, pitched pretty well against Washington and Jefferson, allowed 4 runs on 5 hits, but only one of those runs was earned. As that ball to third, over to second to get one, back to first, not in time. And so the Spartans get the lead runner. Lou retired, McCarthy on the fielder's choice, 5-4 the put out. at second base. And with one gone, that will bring Jonathan Zeeve to the plate. Zeeve over 2 with a strikeout swinging and a ground out. Geerding, though, struggled in his 2 starts after the Washington and Jefferson start. Gave up 7 runs in 2/3 of an inning against Worcester, and then 6 runs in 4 innings against Swarthmore. That ball hit in the air deep down the line in left, and that will be off the warning track and die in the outfield for an extra base hit. Zeeve, first pitch swinging, pulls into second with a double. McCarthy stops at third. And it's now runners at second and third with one away for Jack Sharp, the third baseman, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging and a walk. Geerding did show some progress in his last start, or his last outing out of the bullpen. Pitched 2 hitless innings against Oswego State last Friday. Struck out 3, didn't walk anybody, and so again some signs of Geerding finding his way on the mound, but here in some trouble in his first inning of work, pitching in the 6th with a 5-run lead. There's 2 in scoring position now for Chicago. First pitch to Sharp, taken low for ball 1. Sharp hitting at .292 on the year. The Spartans pull the infielders in at the corners, indicating they'll probably, you would think, come home with a ball that's hit to one of their corner infielders. A line drive right at Dane Camphausen, who doesn't have to move to glove it, and that's a big second out as it holds both runners exactly where they were. And now 2 gone in the inning for the 9-hitter, Braden Juravec. Juravec 1 for 2 in this one, a single in the 5th, grounded out to second base in the 3rd. First pitch, breaking ball, misses outside, 1-0. I think you certainly have a chance to see Geerding work his way back into the starting rotation for the Spartans as this season goes on. Again, he was very good for this team last year. Had a pretty successful first year as well. Is certainly capable. We've seen that from him. He's just got to figure a few things out here to get back on track. Certainly, again, seems like he might be on the way to doing that. Is the 2-0. Down low, 3-0. I got to imagine Juravec, the 9-hitter, taking all the way here behind or head in the count 3-0. Even though first base open, Geerding can make a good pitch here. And indeed, Juravec taking all the way, takes a called strike, 3-1. Chicago has one of their better hitters out on deck in Jackson Slipak, the leadoff hitter. Jack Anderson goes out to the mound to have a talk with Geerding. Here's a 3-1 pitch. And on the inside corner for a called strike. And the count now goes to 3-2. So Geerding trying to work a scoreless inning here. He has a 3-2 count with 2 away and 2 in scoring position. The payoff pitch on the way. And it's fouled back, and we'll do it again. Three-two coming from Geerding, the righty. Here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded foul, and we'll do another 3-2. And Geerding, a junior, his 3rd season on the Case Western Reserve University baseball team. Out of Cincinnati, Ohio, Anderson High School, listed at 6'4", 205 pounds. Here's a 3-2. And And a little outside. That was a good pitch for Geerding. I know he didn't want to walk the batter, but that was a pretty good offering there for him. It does load the bases, puts the potential game-tying run in the on-deck circle. And back to the top of the order now for Chicago with 2 outs. Jackson Slipak will be the batter. He's 0 for 3, struck out all 3 times he's been to the plate today. There is action in the Case Western Reserve bullpen. And I believe that's Zach Barnes, who's currently warming up with his sweatshirt on. So I don't believe we'll see him just yet. I was joking with Zach Barnes before the game when I saw him in the bullpen. Again, Zach from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I go, Zach, you imagine you couldn't have cleaned up a lot of snow before games playing your high school ball in Chapel Hill. And he kind of laughed and joked back. He said, yeah, this is new for me. So we'll see. He may get a shot in this game, although I'm sure the Spartans would love if Geerding could get through this inning unscored upon and then get the team through the 7th as well. Bases are loaded here, so this game could get close quick. Again, Jackson Slipak, I'm sure, happy to be facing someone other than Quinn Saunders on the mound. He was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Saunders. He'll get a chance here with the bases loaded and 2 away. McCarthy at third, ZV at second, Jurevich at first. Here's the pitch. And the strike on the inside corner with a fastball. 0-1 to the designated hitter, Slipak, whose average is dipped down to .318. He's now 1 for 6 in the 2 games today. Can enter the game as one of the better hitters in the Chicago lineup this season. That one chopped. It's going to be a tough play. Geerding has it. Nope, gives way to Powers, and no one's going to have a play on that one. An infield single for Slipak. And that'll go as an RBI. And it makes it 7-3. So everyone moves up 90 feet. And now Brady Miller will be the batter, and that's going to be it for Geerding. So Geerding a little bit upset with himself there. Tough break for him. But with the potential game-tying run at the plate, Matt Englander going to his bullpen here. And we'll get a pitching change. The Spartans leading 7-3. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans is Zach Barnes, who will enter the game in what is at least currently a save situation. Potential game-tying run at the plate with the bases loaded, 2 away. The Spartans leading 7-3. Barnes has been a key piece of this Spartan bullpen this season. He's making his 6th appearance of the season in relief. He's 1-0 with a 4.26 ERA and 1 save already on the season. Barnes, through 12 2/3 innings, has given up 16 hits and 7 walks, a .291 opponent's batting average, but he's also struck out 17 batters in that stretch and has done a good job limiting the damage, holding the opposition to just 7 runs, only 6 of them earned. Barnes has been prone at times to giving up the extra base hit this year. In those 12 2/3 innings, he's given up 5 doubles and 2 home runs. The 7 extra base hits, as many as any other pitcher on the Spartan roster. And so, something to consider here. In a situation where an extra base hit can make this a one-run game, if not tie it. And Barnes pitching in some cold weather here today that he's going to have to deal with. A first-year righty out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Chapel Hill High School, 6'4", 185 pounds. And he needs to get one big out here to send this game to the bottom of the 6th. Zevi the runner at third, Jurevec the runner at second, Slipok over at first, and the batter is Brady Miller. Miller 1 for 3 with an RBI single in his last at bat. He's also grounded out twice. He's hitting at .316 on the year and has a chance to change the face of this game with one big hit. Can't hold his swing there, and the count goes to 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. Called strike, 0-2. Good job by Barnes, who comes fastball, curveball to get the first 2 strikes of the inning. Now the 0-2 on the way. Here's the 0-2 from Barnes. And it misses down and in. Lucky he didn't hit Miller there as the count goes to 1-2. Pitching in weather like this is a bit of an art, and one that Barnes is certainly not used to. And so we'll see how he responds. Again, despite the fact that it looks sunny now, it is cold out there. Here's the 1-2. Curveball swung on, and just getting a piece of it to stay alive is Miller as the count stays at 1-2. About 35 degrees outside. That's about where it's been for most of the games today. Or 2 contests here. Cold and windy out there. One-two offering. And crank fouling out of play. Count stays at 1-2 still. Big out for Barnes to get here with his team leading by 4. Here's the 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing, and just getting a piece of it once again is Miller, who's fought off some nice pitches here to stay alive in the count. It's 2-2 still. Here's the 2-2 again. Curveball. Just stays up a bit high in the count now. 3-2 with 2 away, and that'll put the merry-go-round in motion. Zevi will take off from third, Jurevec from second, Slipok from first on the pitch. Miller at the plate, a .316 hitter, awaits the 3-2 with 2 outs from Barnes, who works from the stretch from the first base side of the rubber, delivers the pitch, a fastball that misses down and in for ball 4. And that will bring across another run, and it makes it a 3-run game, 7-4 the score now. So Chicago has worked its way back into this game, cutting the lead down now to 4 with 2 runs in each of the last 2 innings after the Spartans led at 1 point 7-0. And that will bring the 3-hitter Eric Ridner to the plate. Ridner 1 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts and a double. Double here could tie the game. First pitch. Breaking ball called strike, 0-1. Ridner hitting at .263 on the year. He leads all Chicago players with 13 runs batted in this season. Here's the 0-1. Swung on ground ball for third base side, but just foul. And the count now at 0-2. So Barnes once again getting ahead in the count 0-2. Here's the 0-2 from Barnes. His pitch. Fastball in the dirt, 1-2. Can't get Ridner to chase. One, two from Barnes. Ground ball foul. The Spartans have one more major weapon to potentially go to out of this bullpen, or I should say, not really out of the bullpen, but they do have the ability to turn to Jack Anderson if they want to try to close the game out. The question is, when do you do that if you're head coach Matt Englander? Not to mention that you're going to a guy who is shoveling snow at 9 a.m. in the morning and has just caught 13 innings. The 1-2. Pitch in the dirt, 2-2. I mean, Jack is much of a gamer as anyone is, but I don't know that you want to get to him this early in the game if you can all avoid it. Curveball swung on, hit in the air, deep down the line and left, but foul and out of play. And boy, Barnes has just struggled to finish off hitters since coming into this game. He was up 0-2 on Miller and ended up walking him. A great at-bat by Miller, and now Ridner really fighting him off here. He was up 0-2 on Ridner, and it's now 2-2. Here's the pitch from Barnes. And it's on the outside corner, a called strike 3. Barnes came back with a strikeout and gets the final out of the inning as Chicago leaves the bases loaded. The Maroons get 2 runs on 3 hits, but the Spartans maintain a 3-run lead, and we'll move into the bottom of the 6th as the Spartans try to add on in what could be their final at bat. Arterburn, Andreyko, and Anderson due up. The Killer A's when we come back. 7-4 the score. The Spartans leading. Nine, 1-2 for the Spartans. Arterburn, Andreyko, and Anderson. First pitch on the way from Flanagan to Arterburn, who's 0-2 in this one. Fouled off, 0-1. Well, not quite as close as the first game, but Chicago has made a game of this one. Then it's up to David Flanagan to try to keep it at a 3-run deficit and give his team a chance in the bottom of the inning. 0-2 now the count on Arterburn. Arterburn hitting in .350. Bit of a slow day for him at the plate today. Takes that outside for a ball, 1-2. He went 0-1 with a walk in the first game. Again, 0-2 so far today. Behind in the count, 1-2. Flanagan's pitch. Arterburn hits it in the air, deep towards left field, but getting underneath it and making the catch for the out is the left fielder Zevi, and there's one gone. So Arterburn flies out for the second straight at bat. Flanagan has now retired all 4 batters he's faced, and the last 7 Spartans in a row have been retired by Chicago pitching. And now Logan Andraco will be the batter. Andraco's been on base all 3 times today. An infield single in the first, a walk in the second, reached on an error in the fourth, and takes a called strike there from Flanagan as the count goes to 0-1. Up high, 1-1. Logan, the left-handed hitter. And a big year for him. He was a guy who quietly had a good year last year as he takes that inside. Kind of came along as the season went on, established himself as an everyday player in the lineup, and then this year just hit the ground running straight from the start. Again, he's found his home in the lineup atop the order. It allowed the Spartans to move Anderson into the 2-hole. Swing and a miss. And it's full count, 3-2. And Draco with a .442 on-base percentage. That's exactly what you want to see out of your leadoff hitter. Ground ball hit to first. Second baseman has it, flips, and unable to make the play. And that'll be an infield single for Andraco. Not exactly sure what happened there, but either way, I think he beat it out to first, and so that goes an infield single. You could tell Rindner, the first baseman who caught the first game, just not comfortable out there at first base. That's the second ball on those grounders that he just is handled awkwardly. The first one was also with Andraco, who's charged an error on the play. And another infield hit for Andraco. He's on at first. And now Anderson sprays one down the line in right field, and it's foul. Well, Andraco read it well, and if that ball drops in fair territory, Andraco scores easily on that one. He was going hard all the way. Instead, it lands just foul, and he'll have to retreat to first base, and Anderson will have another shot here. Jack's been on base all 3 times today, reached on a fielder's choice in the first, singled in the second, hit by a pitch in the fourth. Batting here with 1 out and runner at first as the Spartans try to add to a 3-run lead. Inside to Anderson, 1-1 the count. Misses inside for a ball, 2-1. And a pickoff attempt, and they got him. So Andraco picked off 1-3 on the pickoff, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Good move over by Flanagan. Base is now empty with 2 away. And Anderson will have to try to get something started on his own here. The 2-1. That ball hit in the air towards right field, deep along the line, coming over, and that's a fair ball. Anderson on his horse. He's going to try for third, and he will get there as the throw comes in nowhere near in time. And Jack Anderson does the roller coaster at third base with the dugout. And the Spartans have a runner at third, so the Spartans will kick themselves a little bit over that pickoff at first base. Cost them a run, but we'll see if now James Powers, who's had himself a nice day, 1 for 3 in this game with a single, 2 runs scored, an RBI and a fielder's choice. He could drive in a big run here with a hit. Again, they'll shift him to pull here, and the first pitch misses outside. So, I spoke earlier about how the onus when you put these shifts on oftentimes falls on the pitcher. And now you'll see the shift will be a little bit more normal. Now they're going actually the other way now. But the first pitch was outside to Powers. And that one sent in the air towards the gap, left, right center field, diving attempt. And the catch is made for the out. I'll tell you what, the fielder didn't think he made the catch. And let's see what happens here. The fielder didn't think he made the catch. He whipped the ball in pretty quickly. The umpires will talk it over here, and so we'll see what happens. And they'll say he made the catch for the out, and so that will end the inning. So it looked like the Spartans were going to add on a run, but instead, that will end the frame. So we'll go to the seventh. Case Western Reserve with a 3-run lead. It'll be Goldstein, Lou, and McCarthy due up when we come back. Well, tough break for the Spartans. It appeared, at least from here, that ball bounced before it was caught in right field. Instead, it'll go as a fly out. And the score remains 7-4 as we move into the top of the seventh. Again, it's a 7-inning scheduled ball game, so potentially the final inning here. It'll be Zach Barnes back out there trying to close it out. Barnes, who came in with the bases loaded, did walk a batter, but then got a strikeout to end the sixth inning, and will now look for his second save of the year if he could close it out. Jack Goldstein, the leadoff hitter here, the cleanup batter for Chicago, takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Goldstein hitting at 175 on the season. Facing Barnes for the first time, takes that pitch down and in, and it's 2-0. Goldstein reached on an error in the second inning. He's also struck out twice, so 0 for 3. Takes a called strike that time on the inside corner, and it's 2-1. And it's 2-2. And ball 3, full count, 3-2. And that one lifted in the air deep towards left field, way back. Over goes Andreyko, and it's off the base of the wall. Not running hard out of the box there was Goldstein as he gave a bat flip on a double to left field, and he'll pull into second base with a big leadoff double. Goldstein, who I think thought he got all of it, flipped the bat and trotted out of the batter's box, and was lucky he made it to second on that one. So Goldstein now in scoring position, and something cooking here for Chicago in the seventh inning with Richard Liu coming to the plate. Liu singled in his last at bat. And the count goes to 1-0. Liu hitting at 192 on the season. 2-0. Barnes struggling a bit here with his control today. He's had some long at-bats against the hitters he's faced so far. Fouls that one off. Two and one now the count. Again, top of the seventh inning. Last chance for Chicago. Down 3 here in the seventh. Wind picking up as Barnes delivers the pitch, and that misses up and high for ball 3, 3-1. Action starting in the Spartan bullpen. Not sure who's warming up out there. As Barnes delivers his 3-1, and it's fouled off. Last thing you want to do here if you're Barnes is walk the hitter and bring the potential game-tying run to the plate. It's a 3-2 count, another full count here against Barnes, who will rock and deliver the payoff pitch. And misses inside, ball 4. And we'll see what happens here as Matt Englander poking his head out of the dugout. And he will make a pitching change. And I believe the pitching change is going to be Jack Anderson coming into the game, as he'll lose the catcher's gear, get his fielding glove on, and come into this game to try to close it out. 2 on, nobody out. Potential game-tying run at the plate. Pitching change for the Spartans when we come back. Well, the new pitcher on the mound for the Spartans is Jack Anderson, with the catcher Anderson coming in to try to close it out. That'll shuffle the Spartans defensively a little bit here, as third baseman James Powers will come in and catch. And then Grant Price into the game in Zach Carinzi's spot in the order. The DH now gone for the Spartans. Price will play at third. 2 on, potential game-tying run at the plate for Chicago is number 10, Eddie McCarthy, the catcher, to face Anderson here. Anderson, the senior, out of Clarkston, Michigan, gets set to deliver his first pitch of the game, and it's down and out for a ball, 1-0. Anderson with a pair of saves already this season. He's made just 2 appearances. that one is well outside 2-0. And again, for Jack here, not an easy task. Coming in, A, in a high-pressure situation. B, it's been a long day for Jack. In his 2 innings of work this season, he's allowed just 2 hits and a walk. He's struck out 3. Yet to allow a run. He's given up. He does have 2 saves on the year, looking for his team leading third. And that one in there for a called strike, 2-1. But again, for Anderson, who just caught 13 innings, all of a sudden now comes into a high leverage situation on the mound. The 2-1. Outside corner with a strike, 2-2. Good news is the arm should be warm by now. He's been using it for the last 4 hours. What a better way to warm up than that, I guess. But we'll see. It's one of those where, you know, he's an option for you on the mound, but you want to use him carefully. But this is a situation where Case Western Reserve needs him. 2-2 on the way. Swung on, popped up. Shallow right, Stilson there, and the infield fly rule is called as Harms calls him off. And even though it's on the edge of that outfield grass, the right call by the umpires, it's an infield fly to the right fielder, ironically enough, for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone now. Again, the rule, the ball doesn't have to be in the infield. The infield fly rule is invoked when there's 2 runners on, a force play, and the ball could potentially be turned into a double play if dropped, when it would be advantageous to the defense to intentionally drop the ball. So the infield fly rule, the runner is automatically out. Runners can advance at their own risk. Meanwhile, Anderson gets a swing and a miss on the first pitch to Jonathan Zevi, and the count goes to 0-1 on Zevi. Zevi hitting at 133 on the year. 1 for 3 in the game with a double and a run scored. Anderson's 0-1 pitch now. Down and out for a ball, 1-1. Two on, potential game time run at the plate. The 1-1 from Anderson. Breaking ball fouled off, and it's 1-2. We've seen Anderson all over the field at times this year. He's played in center, he's caught, he's now pitching. Wherever he goes, he seems to do well. But again, this is a high-pressure situation to try to get this save. Ball sneaks behind the catcher, Powers, but hesitation at second there for Goldstein. And he's forced to hold at second base as the count goes to 2-2. 2-2 from Anderson. Little up high, full count 3-2. Again, a walk here would put the potential game-tying run on the base pass and bring the potential go-ahead run to the plate. Knowing that, Zevi should see a good pitch to hit in this situation. 3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice pitch from Anderson for the second out of the inning. And Anderson now an out away from closing this one out. And standing in his way will be Jack Sharp. Sharp hitting a 280 on the year. He's 0 for 2 in the game. A strikeout swinging, a walk and a run scored, and a hard line out to first base in his 3 trips to the plate today. Anderson ready on the mound. Facing Sharp as he delivers the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. And a called strike 0-2. Again, about 4 hours of snow shoveling for Jack, followed by 13 innings of catching, and now trying to close this out. An average human being would be sent over to UH by now for a cardiac procedure. Jack trying to just do a normal day's work for him. Here's the 0-2. And that one sails over the catcher's head, and both runners will move up on a wild pitch. Two in scoring position, first base open. Obviously, you don't want to put the potential game-tying run on. But those runners moving up don't mean a lot to Jack. He's got to focus on the batter at the plate here. Ahead in the count, 1-2, the pitch to Sharp. Breaking ball swung on and missed at strike 3, and that'll close it out. Jack Anderson comes in, and after catching 13 innings, retires 3 batters in a row to close this one out, and the Spartans come away with the win. The final score in this one, 7-4, and Case Western Reserve gets the doubleheader sweep as they pick up a couple of 7-inning victories. Chicago drops to 1-11 on the year. Case Western Reserve with its 4th straight win, now 12-5. The winning pitcher, Quinn Saunders, his second straight win, improves to 2-0 on the year. Jack Anderson gets save number 3 on the season. The loss goes to Chicago starter John Butka. He will drop to 0-2 on the campaign. Today's game lasted 2 hours and 13 minutes. And attendance here was 125 for our second game. Want to thank everyone once again for joining us. A reminder that we'll be back with you tomorrow. The game is scheduled for an 11 o'clock start. 2 9-inning games coming up for the Spartans and the Maroons as they wrap up their season series. Want to thank everyone once again for joining us as the Spartans come away with the sweep of the doubleheader. Looking to keep it going tomorrow. We'll be back with you bright and early. Again, final score here from Nobby's Ballparks. Case Western Reserve 7, Chicago 4. Take care, everyone. Have a great evening.